This is a photograph I've chosen for the drawing of a nose in the side view. The nose is better drawn in a natural upright position, so I reorientated the photo and cropped it to suit. I also changed it to grayscale so you can see the various subtle changes in the tonal values. Start off the sketch with a 2H pencil and lightly draw the outlines, and maybe also show where some major value changes occur. Because the reference photograph was not where it should have been, I misjudged the angle of the nose bridge, and I realized this only halfway through the drawing. Well, I decided to leave it as it was, as this video is really all about practicing shading techniques. I started with the dark areas first, because this gives me a clean focus point to build around. I want you to notice that even in the nostril shadow area, there is some subtle shading which also adds to the 3D effect. Use the side of the 2H pencil to very lightly plot in the various shadow gradients, and do this in a circular motion to avoid any unsightly streaks. Do as I say and not do as I did. Keep your reference photograph as close as possible to your drawing and in the same correct viewing angle. It is much more practical to keep the distance as short as possible. It is also easier when comparing your drawing to the photograph. The correct photo orientation will solve the mistake I made. You see, even professionals are prone to making mistakes. There are only 3 sharp edges in this drawing: the outline, the half moon of the nostril, and possibly the lower edge of the nose bulb. At this stage, I'm jumping around somewhat. The reason is I want to begin judging and comparing while I'm doing all this in relation to the whole drawing. It is much like a shepherd dog following his master's whistle, running to the left, then to the right, then to the rear to herd the stragglers. All this to keep the flock moving in a certain direction. When you draw often, you automatically begin to develop a method that moves you in a particular direction. Certain actions become a habit that you do without even thinking. One piece of general advice: don't concentrate on the finer details before first building up the whole picture. It is similar to building a house. First the foundations, then the shell, the roof and the ceilings. Only near the end comes the painting, the light fittings, etc. The moustache and the top lip are only added to place the nose respective to another part of the face. Nobody really likes to be a loner or an orphan. They say two is company. The hairs are small strokes applied with a flicking action from the base to the end of the hair. The pencil I'm using is a 5B grade. It's time now to begin building up to the darker values or shades. Any good drawing must have enough values from light to very dark. I've always told my students, don't be afraid of the dark. I've gone back to a B pencil for a short while to touch up some middle values. And then to the 6B pencil for the final darks, and alternating with a paper stump for some blending. Just be aware when blending with a paper stump that it also darkens up where it's being applied. In some areas, use a light pressure and more pressure to darken up an area. A few final touches and the drawing is done.